Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Working with Working Man Ron Doyle. I don't know if you all are familiar with my channel. I'm a licensed home improvement contractor and master electrician, and started out a number of years ago doing home improvements. And I had a large utility body, much larger than this one. It was a 2004 Chevy one-ton dually with 11-foot utility body, and using that truck being diesel and the price of diesel being so high, I decided to go back to gas and to get away from the 1 ton where I'm over the 10,001 pound limit for DOT requirements. Now I still have to have DOT numbers on this if I'm pulling a trailer because it's combined weight, but as the truck sits the way it is now, it's under 10,000 pounds, and I don't need DOT to drive it unless I'm pulling a trailer. But having that 2004 Chevy, I had a Redding Classic 2 utility body on it. It was all steel, and I used it for a period of 14 years in service as I was conducting business in the state of Maryland. And I decided to get rid of the truck, one, for price of diesel being so high and being in an unstable market, especially right now, just after COVID. We're seeing diesel prices upwards of $6 in Maryland, and I'm hearing they're $9 and $10 over in California. But ended up getting away from the diesel, and I wanted a aluminum utility body. The '04 that I had was starting to rust out in the back bed. I had Line-X sprayed over top of the boxes, the back, inside the bed, and in the floor, and on the tailgate. And after a number of years, the floor started to blister up. Looking underneath of the truck, you can actually see that it was rusting through, and a lot of the Line-X was actually holding the content in the back of the truck inside the truck. I took it to Line-X, and they basically said that it rusted from the underside down, or the underside up. Well, it's debatable. You're putting Line-X over top of steel, and if you get any moisture in between, it can rust through. So I was searching for a utility body company. I ended up buying this as my personal pickup truck, and this is a 2012 Ford F-250. It had a regular pickup bed on it, and I'm looking to hire somebody. And back in April of 2021, I ended up placing an order for this utility bed, and it was about a 6-month lead time. This is a Martin Truck Bodies utility body. It's all aluminum, stainless steel hardware. It was custom ordered through Martinsburg, Pennsylvania. At their location is 279 Crossroads Lane, Martinsburg, Pennsylvania, 16662. Give you a little shot of their phone number and address. I was real impressed. I was looking online for utility bodies, and I came across Highway Products, which is toward the West Coast, and I really like their products. You've seen a lot of YouTube videos of Highway Products, and they do a lot of custom work. One day I told them that I had this 2012 F-250 pickup truck, and I wanted to take the pickup bed off and put a utility body on it. And I said, can you give me an over-the-phone quote? What does the basic utility body package start at? They're start out about this high. They don't have the high top unless you custom order. But their starting package was $24,000. And I said, excuse me? I said, I don't want to buy the truck. I got the truck. I just want a utility body mounted on it, all aluminum. He said, yes, that's our starting package, $24,000. I said, there is no way I can afford that. So doing some searches online, looking through Amazon, eBay, just to see what would pop up, doing YouTube videos, looking different things. And I came across eBay. This utility body was shown on eBay. And the price seemed way too cheap to be real. Wasn't sure if it was legit or not. So I wrote down the phone number and I called him up. And I ended up talking to Brandon Martin from Martin Truck Bodies, and he said, yeah, he said we've been doing utility bodies for about 6 years. And I said, that's all? I said, what were you doing before that? He said, we did grain bodies and tanker trucks, and we did them all out of aluminum, and we've converted our processes over to utility bodies because the market's so good. And they do a lot of stake bed trucks, as you see in this picture, all aluminum, the whole entire thing. And I said, what was your reasoning for starting this the venture of the company over to aluminum utility bodies. And he said, well, in Pennsylvania, he said they get a lot of snow, they use a lot of salt, and a steel utility body in Pennsylvania will not last. And the farmers were requiring this type of truck bed for their pickups. And they started doing some flatbeds with goosenecks, and then they started adding toolboxes to them, and then they got into utility bodies. And I said, what's your starting package? And at the time that I went up, his starting package was for a aluminum utility body, standard height, was $7,600. That was the starting package. And talked to Brandon. I scheduled before I went down. He said, make sure you call and schedule, because we need to make sure we've got something you can see before it goes out the door. Now, this company is a company that was founded by the father, and there's 5 sons involved into this company, and each one of them play a part. And they have, I believe at the time I went there, I think he said they had 14 employees besides the brothers and the father that operated the business. But talking to him, he seemed like a really nice young guy, and I believe he's of Mennonite descent. But talking to him about options that I wanted on this particular utility body, I said, well, I'm going from a 1 ton, and I'm stepping down to a 3/4 ton to standard DOT limit. And I said I want as much tool storage as possible. So he said, well, we can do high sides. So he's got 42-inch. Let's see, upgrade complete from a 42-inch body to a 57-inch high compartment body. And then it adds an additional 1 shelf per vertical compartment, a total of 3 shelves per opening, to go from a standard height, which is here, to the full height. It added $1,865 to the cost of this utility body. See, what else did I get? Customer required both sides of the service body, same door configuration. Okay, so instead of mix matching and doing 1 long horizontal door, I ended up going with 2 large vertical doors and 1 horizontal door, which we're going to do a walk around. I'll show you. Upgrade standard height from a 12-inch tailgate. That was the other requirement that I wanted. I wanted a tall 22-inch tall tailgate to use as a workbench, because these horizontal doors don't offer any kind of working platform. So I said I want a nice workbench on the back of this tailgate. So I got the extra tall. I got the extra tall tailgate as a nice working platform. It was $105 more for the extra tall tailgate. Installing LED cube lights and wire to upfitter switches. Upfitter switches I installed into the truck prior to taking it down to them. The light package was $460. Upgrading from standard D-rings to stainless steel D-rings was a $40 upcharge, because they offer steel, as I believe it was zinc coated steel. And LED compartment strip lights on the inside with an on and off switch that opens, it turns it on when the door comes up. Such as you see the reflection on the door. LED lights are on the back side. You can see that light just came on. That was $390 for all interior lights inside this utility body. Customer requested the slam latches rather than the T-handle style. That's the only thing I think I made a mistake on. One of 2 things that I made a mistake on is getting the slam latch, which is of this orientation. Now, with this particular slam latch, it has a catch pin on this side, and the downside of that is if you have totes or bins that you're pulling out with that shelf, that catch, that striker latch is always in the way. And I didn't really contemplate that when I did the order, but that's what I wanted, because it was closer to a Reading utility body and the way that the latches work. So I ended up getting those. There was no upcharge for the slam latches. Now, the other latches that they offer look like this on my other utility body. I'm going to show you. They work like this. Flip that down. The key is hidden underneath the handle. You turn it. There's no striker in this location. So you can slide stuff out, put stuff back, and it's never in the way. All of the mechanism is up here. And now that I got these striker latches on these doors, I really wished I didn't do that. There was no upcharge for these. Installing aluminum E-track inside the utility bed. So I've got a total of 4 rows and one going across the headboard in this utility body. You can see them right here. Got them here on this side, got them on that side, and the below the headboard at the front. The all the E-tracking added up to the cost of $345 for all the E-tracking. Optional paint. When they do these aluminum utility bodies, they do not, paint is an option. So if you want it and you want it cheap, it's going to come without paint. Now when you order paint, the only thing that they paint on the utility body is the tailgate. As you can see, they paint the doors. As you can see, they paint this fender skirt, as you can see here. Now the paint option on this utility body, being high side, was $1,650 for the paint option, and it's the same identical thing on the other side. Installing the service body. Now I kind of toyed around with this, thinking about doing it myself, going down with a trailer, putting it on a flatbed trailer, bringing it back, and installing it myself. Their install fee is $850. Now originally I had talked to Brandon and I said, I'm going to bring the pickup bed down. I want you to install the utility body, and then take the pickup bed and throw it on the top utility body with some runners, and I'll put some straps over it, and I'll bring it back to Salisbury and I'll sell it. Well, he made me the offer. He said, well, what do you think you're going to ask for it? And I said, well, I'd like to get $2,000 for it. It was a 8-foot bed, same as this, being 8 foot. And he said $2,000 is a manageable price. He said, how does the underneath look? And I said, the underneath looks great. It's awesome. It's like I said, when I took the truck up to him, I believe the truck had 50,000 miles when I took the truck to him. So it didn't get drove a whole lot. It was my secondary vehicle. It was more of my personal truck. You imagine it being a pickup bed, and I had a gang box in the back of it so I could jockey material back and forth to jobs. But I really didn't use it for jobs other than maybe doing some trenching. I'd hook a trailer to it and do a trench job and put shovels and stuff in the back. So thinking about doing that, and he said, well, let me make you an offer on the utility body, or on the pickup bed. He said, bring it down. He said, we'll take it off. I'll look at the underside, and I'll give you a sum of what we'll give you, and we'll deduct it from the total cost of the utility body. And I said, well, that sounds pretty good. I like that idea. That way, I wouldn't have to take it back on the way back from Pennsylvania, going from Pennsylvania to Maryland. And it was a pretty appealing option. Well, lead time on this thing was like 7 months. So the whole time I'm thinking about this whole process, and I go looking under the truck, and the pickup bed looked pretty decent. But looking at the actual framing, Ford didn't do a whole lot of paint underneath on the framing, and I noticed the framing was rusting. The rotors were rusting in the back. Everything had a coat of rust on it, and there's a lot of dirt packed up in nooks and crannies. And I'm like, I could take this pickup bed off, I can power wash it, degrease it, scuff sand it with a wire brush, and I can take care of all the painting underneath of this before the utility body goes on. I said, chances are they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna clean my frame and repaint it and then put this on all in the same day, because I'm heading down, getting installed, and coming right back. I'm not staying overnight for this. So I called him up. We made some changes with different things and the measurements of where the E-track goes in the back bed. And I was telling him, I said, I'm thinking about taking the bed off myself and go ahead and paint the frame and be that much ahead on having a truck that's going to last me a lot longer with a painted frame and an aluminum utility body. And he said, however you want to do it, he said, it's fine with us. He said, but those pickup beds from a 2012 F-250, 8 foot, in good condition with no dents, are in high demand. And he said, chances are we'd give you $2,000 for it without a problem. And I said, I appreciate the offer, thank you. So I ended up taking the pickup bed off, taking the 8 bolts out of the back. Had to do a YouTube video on it. Had to do some searches. Those bolts were stuck. You do a little walk around, give you a little better shot of this thing. Those bolts were stuck, and was having great difficulty getting those bolts out. And the YouTube video that I happened to watch, the guy told me to, or the video, the guy instructed me to take a 5/8 nut, put it on top of the Torx bits that are in the Torx socket cap screws that were in the back bed, weld them, and that heat will radiate down through that bolt, and then you can put a impact on that nut and break them loose. The Torx that I were using was I believe a T65. I believe it was a T65. I snapped about 9 of them, and I only got 3 bolts out, snapping 9 bits off. I didn't realize something's got to change. There's certain bolts underneath the bed. You can't get any penetrating oil in it to break them loose. So I ended up doing welding the nuts to the top, broke them all loose, put a skid loader, put straps across the back bed from side to side, and a couple boards, and I ran the skid loader underneath of it. I picked the bed up off and took it to the front yard, cleaned it up, put it on some sawhorses, listed it on Marketplace. Ended up selling the pickup bed on Marketplace after it's about 3.5-4 weeks. I sold it. $3,400 is what I got for the pickup bed. I was well pleased. $3,400 that I got from that goes back to this to help this get a little cheaper, because with all the options that I got, this thing gets real expensive real quick, real fast. Total cost of this utility bed was $14,112.84 minus $3,400 for the pickup bed that I took off. Not counting my time, not counting all the paint that I used to clean frame, paint the frame. But I'm glad I did it now. That part's done. It's something that's scratched off the list. I don't have to worry about the frame rusting out under this truck. I did the whole entire thing from front to back. I got a little overspray on the cab. I've got to wax the cab and try to get all the overspray off. But it's not real noticeable. But I want to give you all a little walk around of the quality and how this thing's actually put together. I am well pleased with it. Brandon is an outstanding young man, and I would recommend anybody that needs a aluminum utility bed custom to go talk to Brandon at Martin Truck Bodies. Phone number is 814-793-3353. Give you the phone number again. We'll go ahead and open these doors up, walk around. Now, what you can expect when you order a utility body from them, you get a standard compartment. It's going to stop somewhere up in here, and it's just over the back glass of the cab. So it's going to come right up to about here. Now, you get a bottom plate shelf. You get a bottom plate shelf, which is flat, right here, and it steps in for the shape of the frame. They have to step it in. Comes down in the back. So I'm going to do all my measurements that you see me do from this edge of this door frame, the inner part. So at the bottom we've got 12 inches. At the top we got 15 1/4. It's pretty deep. This back compartment measures 18 3/4. And opening frame to opening frame, we got 51 1/4 on that. Those doors are pretty stout. All the aluminum that you see here is 5/32, what it appears to be. A little bit over 1/8 of an inch thick. They've got extruded aluminum for adjustments on the shelves. Everything is aluminum MIG welded, but you can see the adjustable tracks, and you got aluminum cleats. All this is adjustable up and down, and your light is hidden behind the extruded aluminum adjustable tracking so that it won't get damaged. Now, if you fill content up inside this utility body, you're gonna block a lot of your light because of where this is mounted, but they mount it here to protect the light. But with this particular utility body, you'll get one of these and you'll get one of these. And I've took one of these out to give you a better look at what you're actually getting. So you're getting an aluminum tray, and each tray has slots cut into it, corresponding slots on the front and the back, and they give you a divider for each one they do. So the inside width of this tray is about 11 7/8. The width of this tray is 20 3/4. And this tray came out from the other side. These are your supports that lock in. You got, they give you carriage bolts that fit inside the tracking. Adjust up and down. Carriage bolt goes through here. You put the nut and the fender washer on it, tighten it down, and get your adjustments. That slot is for this corresponding slot right there. So one bolt holds each side down, and then 2 bolts on each side hold it to the adjustable track on the wall. So let me open the rest of this utility body up so you can get a look at that. Now this particular compartment is the horizontal compartment, and it's got just one long shelf in it. Now if you get the standard height body, it's going to have the same shelf, just one. He asked me if I wanted an additional shelf, and I told him no, I was fine with just one shelf because I'm putting large content in here. Now I will tell you, I use a lot of Square D Homeline 3060 panels. Square D Homeline panels fit in this compartment stacked up too high, and I can shut the door. That's how deep this thing is. So compartment depth on this is 15 and 5/16. The compartment width is 41 1/4. The compartment height on this is 28 3/8. It's a big compartment. It has 2 gas struts, one on the other side. This gas strut right here, on this side, if you can see it, this is a switch for the light. So if we shut the door, you see the light go on and off. There's no on and off switches other than what you see right here. There's no switches that you have to fool with. This is the front compartment. This is the biggest vertical compartment that's on this truck. And this compartment, like I said, at the base of it, right down here, is 12 1/4 inches deep. Just above where the body flares out, it's 15 1/4. Now the compartment width on this one, 25 3/4 wide, and that's from edge to edge. I'm not counting back in here. And then the overall height of it is 51 1/4. Now these lights, this light is tucked to the front, as you can see right here. Now this compartment comes with 2 shelves. As you can see right here, comes with 2 shelves. 1, 2, 3, 4 dividers in each shelf. They are removable if you need to remove them. And I've got these lights in here. This is one thing I wanted to tell you all. If you decide to take your bed off yourself, paint your frame, clean it up before you take your truck minus the pickup bed on it down there and have them put a utility body on there, pick you up a set of these so that you're legal going down the road. These are magnetic based trailer lights. I say magnetic trailer lights. They're magnetic based, but they're used for jockeying cars around on tow dollies. Harbor Freight sells these for about 30 bucks. You use the coupon, you can probably get them for 25. I think it's got like a 24-foot cord assembly, but you can plug this into your trailer wiring in the back of the truck, stick this to the top of the frame. I would recommend not having any weight on the back of your truck, that you put zip ties around this and around the frame so these don't bounce off. But I drove all the way to Pennsylvania with the tag zip tied to the frame and these lights mounted to the frame. Past cops, no problem. Nobody said anything, nobody stopped me. One thing I want to show you in this thickness of the steel is how strong this stuff is. And this door being this big, I didn't believe would be this strong. Let me get you a better angle here. This door is rigid. I grabbed the door corners. I'm trying to rack this door and bend it. I can't do it by myself. See the hinge flexing a little bit, but she's pretty solid, and the door still shuts fine. That's impressive. There's an outer skin and an inner skin. This is the outer skin, and the outer skin is the same thickness as the inner skin. This is the inner skin that you can see right here. So they've got basically a pan and a pan stuck together, and then it's welded on the inside. You have a spot here. This plate that you see right here is where the automatic latch assembly would be if you want the key fob to unlock all these boxes. Now with the slam latch, they said that's an option that I could get. I think it was, don't hold me to it, but I think it was $1,200 to $1,300 more for the automatic latches, and I said no, I'm fine. I'll use the key. I don't want that option. Now, being that this is a 3/4 ton truck, it is a Ford 2012. It does have the plow prep package when I bought it. So the benefit of this door and swinging in the upward position is the clearance overhead. Now from the ground, this truck is a little tall. From the ground to the lowest part of the door, I got 6 foot 2.5 inches. Now they've got it adjusted for me toward the outer part of the door, 6'9" to right here. It's a comfortable height for me to grab and to be able to shut this. But let me take you to the other side of the truck, show you something. See if you like this. Now this side is the exact same thing as the other side of the truck, with one exception. Now the fender skirt that you've seen on the other side doesn't have a gas door. This one has a gas door. Turn this, gas door is in here. Now, they normally situate the gas doors on these utility bodies right in this compartment. So they build it out with a box frame, and it's gasketed right in this area. They make them for diesel and they make them for gas trucks. Diesel's going to have the 2 ports, one for depth and one for diesel fuel. The gas version trucks, they make a smaller box, but the gas door's right here. And me and him were talking about it and building the high door. The problem with filling it from the inside compartment and having this totally gone is you go to a gas pump, you're normally within 24 to 32, 36 inches from the gas pump. Well, you're going to have a bit of a problem getting this big door up in front of the gas pump, and you're going to have to reposition the truck further out to fill the gas. Chances are you're going to forget it the first 1 or 2 times. This door sticks out from the truck 32.5 inches. From here to here is 32.5 inches. Well, that's quite a bit in my book. That would make a problem, and I had raised a concern with him, and I said, is it possible? I said that you can do an aluminum shroud that like Redding uses on their utility bodies, and he said something similar to that. Let me look into it. So he sent me some pictures, and he showed me a picture of this gas door. Now this is stainless steel hinges. This last part is steel, but this is aluminum. All this is aluminum. It is adjustable. That does lock. Kind of looks like a pocket mounted on the side of a truck. I wasn't crazy about this when he showed it to me. He had ordered it, and he said, well, we'll paint it to match. And I said, well, what I'd rather have is the actual gas door off of a Redding utility body. And he said, well, let me look into it and I'll call you back. He called me back a couple days later, and he said, Ronnie, he said, I'm sorry. He said, we can't put that on this truck. And I said, why? He said, it has Redding stamped into it. We don't want Redding's name on our Martin body truck. And I said, well, I've seen them both ways. I've seen them stamped with the name and without. And right now, the production of what Redding is building is the gas door with Redding name into it. He said he wouldn't do it. I understood, and I said, I'll go with this. I said, just paint it for me. So he painted the gas door. I'm not crazy about that thing. It's more of an eyesore. Everybody wants to know why you got a pocket door on the side of your truck. Anyway, it is what it is. So the 2 things that I wasn't crazy about, the slam latches after I ordered them, and this gas door. The other alternative is if you get a standard height body, which is going to have a smaller swing up door, this gas door is going to be on the inside. So for someone to steal your gas, they would have to get inside of this compartment to siphon your gas out, or cut the hose, or pop the tank, punch the tank underneath. So your gas is a little bit more secured on this particular utility body. This is another thing I wanted to show you. Have you ever seen a single rear wheel utility body truck that will fit a 5-gallon bucket? 5-gallon buckets are fairly wide, and at the top of this bucket you're like 12.5, 13 inches from outside the rim to outside of the rim on that side. This truck holds it with no problem. This particular shelf, you can see they got the lip. They've got the lip mounted up. I was playing around with the other shelf in the other box. You can actually take these shelves and flip them over so you have smooth side facing up. That way you'll have more of a smooth surface to slide things in and out of, which if you're putting a generator or something portable in here that has got to come out, it's got some weight to it, that's going to help you. They do vent the box. Get you off this tripod here. Now if you can see, they've got a vent hole here, a vent hole here, and the same thing on the other side. And what that does is it vents. You can see this channel right here. You can see right down there, channel goes through. So in theory, air goes through here, goes down this channel, and it siphons out the air coming from those holes, allowing the compartment to breathe. They do that to prevent sweating inside the utility body. Let me show you right here. These bins didn't come with it. I was playing around to see what would fit and what wouldn't fit, but they fit pretty decent. You see this back compartment has got 2 vent holes, and they've got the channel, same thing right here. That keeps the body from sweating. So single gas strut on the front, double gas struts on the horizontal door, both sides. A little bit of effort to pull it down. Now you can imagine we're in June of 2022, so I've had this thing for a year. Hadn't really done anything with it. Give you a closer look to this tailgate, the bumper. The bumper is 1/4 inch aluminum, pretty thick. There's no rolled edge on this side plate. There's a rolled edge. There's a rolled edge right here. Okay, now the lights. You can see the bumper is welded on. It's welded right here. You can see that right there. And it's welded on this side. Right there. And I asked them, I said, what happens if somebody smacks me, hits me and tears this bumper up? And they said, take some pictures of it, and we'll look your records up on file with what we got. We'll make you one. You come down, we'll cut this one off, we'll weld a new one on for you, and then we'll bill the insurance company if it's an insurance company claim. I thought that was pretty nice. They got measurements for everything on this truck. So if you get in an accident, mess one of these doors up, they can replace either one of these doors. They use a laser cut. Everything is laser cut. Now this particular tailgate is a nice size workbench. You can see this was a little on the thin side. I was hoping for something a little thicker on this hardware for support. I did notice you got 3 bolts, 1, 2, and 3. When you put a lot of weight on this tailgate right here, right there, you see some deflection in the metal. And I looked inside, and they don't have any. There's no backer plate. So I'm going to end up making a backer plate and doing some reinforcement to make that a little bit more rigid when you're putting some weight on this tailgate. This particular pickup bed is all extruded aluminum. These are individual slats that are slid together. You can see a seam there and a seam there. And what they do is they build the frame, put 2 runners out going down the length of the truck, and they slide these together to the appropriate length. They slide them all together, and then they build your sides, and then they MIG weld it down the whole side of the truck. So that is MIG welded all the way around. This thing is solid. Aluminum E-track, another thing that I requested. It's got stainless steel tie downs was an option. It didn't come with these. These are what I use to get into the back of the truck. It helps aid in your ability to get in and out. They cut the headboard down. Cut the headboard is a little bit lower. It's just, I believe it's even with the glass. You see the headboard is here. Glass is there. Your viewing on the glass is right there. So they've got it just about even. He did ask me for an option if I wanted to put a guard from here to the top of the box right here. expanded aluminum metal or punched stamped metal design going across the back glass, and I didn't want that obstruction in my view. Now these lights, these cube lights that they installed, I've got two in the back, right here and right there, that light up this back bed. I've got two in the bumper. I've got one there. I've got one there. I've got two lights that light up the side, right there and right there. And I got all those mounted. They mounted all of them and wired it all on the upfitter switches. Now, I installed the upfitter switches before I took the truck to them. You got 1 through 4. 2, 3, and 4 are being used. This one was an extra one. They've got the lights set up as the side marker lights. This third switch is the light just went out. The third switch is the lights in the back of the truck, in the back bed, and then this switch here is the actual lights that are mounted in the bumper, and they aid in hooking up to a trailer. They aid in backing up at night, especially if you have tinted windows. I love that I've got lights on this utility body compared to my other utility body. I'll give you a quick peek of the other utility body. This is the other utility body. This is a Reading, and I've got it pretty much decked out the way I want it. It's got buyer's products boxes on the top that I mounted after I got the truck, but basically me wanting to do this video for you all and give a shout out to Brandon Martin at Martin Truck Bodies on good quality job, and I highly recommend them. This is not a paid sponsor. I'm not getting paid to do this, but I want you all to see what's out there. If you're looking for an aluminum utility body, do yourself justice. Look up Highway Products and compare Highway Products to this. This is an equal in my book. Much cheaper, a lot more options. I got this thing loaded to the hilt. I'm going to take you underneath this utility body. We'll look around underneath, see if you all like it. Alright, this is the front of the truck. You've seen, this is your vent track. This is underneath the fender. This is your gas tube. You can see that. They've got segmented welds, so it's not welded solid. If they did, it would warp it. You got the wire ran in aluminum tubing to protect it going across. They asked me for mud flaps. That was no additional cost to me, and I told them to put their logo on it with stainless steel acorn nuts. This is underneath the rear bumper. That's my trailer wire harness hookup. Hopefully I can slide up there and show you a little bit more. Now we're on the passenger side of the vehicle. Everything's aluminum. Now you can see where the skirt bolts up on this. If you damage it, your skirt bolts are right there. You can see that. There's where your light bolts in. If the skirt gets damaged over this wheel, it can be taken out and replaced. Now, that adjustable tracking that they put inside the utility body, it's also what they use to do your mount underneath. Now on the front of this utility body, it has a spring plate, so it's bolted in six places. That's the back. You can see where the spare tire's at. Well, this is the front. Now I'm gonna get a little closer so you can see it. That's a spring perch. That's to keep the utility body from flexing and cracking. Here's the extruded floor. This is your framing. The part that I always heard about in not getting a utility body that everybody was controversial about is the way that they mount utility bodies. You get deflection and it causes the welds to crack. Well, Martin Truck Body has done a preventative measure to fix that. As you can see, that bracket is bolted to the frame, and this spring plate takes out the deflection so that you don't get cracks throughout the service body. And so far, having it, and look at the mileage, I'll tell you how many miles that I've put on this thing. You can see where they've strapped the wire up over there. I apologize, there's not a whole lot of light under here. You can see where they've cut in for the floor tie downs right up there. Let's take a look. All right, 64,888 miles is what's on this truck. When I took it to them, it had right around 50,000 miles. So I put, what, almost 15,000 miles on this truck. And since they put the service body on, so far, no problems. They give a 1-year warranty with this truck, and tell me to check the welds. If you see anything, any problems, don't hesitate to call. So far, the only thing that I've noticed is the spring tension on these latches. That right there, some of them aren't strong enough. So you shut the door, you push it, the handle is out just ever so slightly. See this one here? That door is shut. That latch isn't all the way back. See it move? That's this one seems to be okay. Yeah, so far so good. The other option of the latch, like I was showing you before, is real similar to this one, and I really wish that I had gotten this style on the truck. It's actually a rolling nylon latch that actually rolls and catches up into here. That's another option that Martin Truck Body puts on their service beds. But ladies and gentlemen, I hope this video was helpful and informative, and helping you make a decision on aluminum utility bed. And one more thing I want to leave you before we go is pulling the measurement. A lot of people are going to ask this question. All right, let's try and get her in there. You got 48, looks like 48 and a half. I'm trying to do this one-handed. Bear with me a minute. Length of this pickup bed. That's all the way forward. 1¼ inches. Well, ladies and gentlemen, looks like I've adjusted my setting here. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope this video was helpful and informative to you all and your search for a aluminum custom ordered utility bed. If you got any questions, hey, leave me a comment at the bottom. This video I know is getting long, but if you're in dire search for a aluminum utility bed and you want quality, I'm telling you, Martin Truck Body, you need to call them. You're going to be very impressed, like I was when I met Brandon, and he took me around the shop. If you all thought this video was helpful and informative in any way, please give me a thumbs up. Greatly appreciate it. If you're not a subscriber, I would greatly appreciate if you would subscribe. The next video that you're going to see me do is that utility body right there. I've got to empty out the content in that utility body and put it in here, because another video I talked about this, I was impacted. It's gonna hurt me a little bit as far as transferring content from one truck to another, but hey, business has gotta go on. You gotta make a way to make an honest dollar, and that's what I try to do each and every day. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Until the next time, you all have a wonderful and blessed day.